Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So there was a story in the New York Times about how Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, J.D. Vance, and Tulsi Gabbard all argued and convinced Trump out of attacking Iran's nuclear facilities that, like Benjamin Netanyahu, wanted him to. And so when I heard this, first of all, Kurt was just saying how shocked he was by hearing the people who want to attack Iran and Islamicists and all that stuff, and they all of a sudden talk Trump out of it. So, yeah, I know it sounds funny, right? Because you have to keep in mind, this appeared in the New York Times. So what does that tell you? And they were quoting high-level officials that told them this, that Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, and Tulsi Gabbard argued Trump out of attacking Iran, bombing Iran. So if this appeared in the New York Times, what that tells me is that the administration wanted this stuff revealed. Right?
So it wasn't anti-Pete Hegseth in them for not going to Iran. It wasn't.
So to me, this is some kind of propaganda. And so what would be the purpose of the administration revealing this to the New York Times to print and let everybody know that Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, and J.D. Vance and the Trump administration passed and rebuffed Benjamin Netanyahu's ask for them to bomb Iran? Because what this tells you, one, is that Israel can't do it without the United States. They can't do this. So every war, just like the Iraq war, just like Libya, just like Syria, just like Lebanon, Somalia, Yemen, they need the United States muscle to do this. They can't do anything. And that's why I said if the United States would just stop backing Israel, they'd have to become a good neighbor. But that's beside the point. The point here is that the administration allowed this information to be leaked. So I think at first you go, "Oh, this is great news. That's the good Tulsi. That's the old Tulsi that I supported in 2019."
And a new Pete Hegseth.
And a new Pete Hegseth for sure. So what I think is that the plan, I think it's very possible. I'm not saying this is the plan. I'm saying it's so this is obviously propaganda. So what's the point of them doing that? I think it's so when they eventually, they already have probably plans to actually do it.
Yeah.
And so they say, look, we tried every which way to Sunday. We tried to give Iran a chance. We tried to negotiate.
Well, I hope that's not what it is.
We tried to do all that. And look, we're actually the good guys here. Our hands were tied. We had to bomb them. We had to, they wouldn't come to an agreement with us. That's what hopefully that's not what's happening. Hopefully what's happening is what it appears is happening just on the surface, that the Trump administration wants to reach a negotiated deal, because what Trump said at the White House meeting in front of the reporters was that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's it. That's the only thing he wants to stop, is the Iran having a nuclear weapon. Well, that doesn't mean that Iran can't have a nuclear program. I mean, they can have nuclear energy, and they can refine uranium up until. So he even said, up until the limits, they enrich it up to 3.7 or whatever that means. But that was the agreement in the old Barack Obama nuclear agreement with Iran, which Trump threw out.
So they have to reinstate it without saying they're reinstating it.
So they're basically advocating for Barack Obama's old nuclear treaty.
I'm guessing with France cut out of that, a big part of that was France was going to start trading France is going to get uranium from them in that old treaty.
Oh, is that
remember Niger kicked France out? A big part of it was uranium going to France with that Obama deal. So I'll bet you maybe he'll cut that part out of it.
So I hope it's just what it appears to be on the surface, that Trump, Tulsi, Hegseth, and J.D. Vance they know that attacking Iran would, because that's what Tulsi said. So Tulsi, in her advisement letter to Trump, was like, this would start a bigger war that we don't want. And I think possibly Russia could even get involved in this. But
they will. They have some kind of little thing going. Wait, but there's another part of this that Trump, and you probably heard this part, so if I'm getting it wrong, tell me. But I thought he directly was talking to Iran, and they didn't like that because what he normally goes through Israel or something like that.
Yeah. Well, this was the first time a president has actually talked to Iran directly since Obama.
Really?
So, that's what I read anyway. So,
well, who did they go through?
They weren't. I don't know, but they weren't. But so then Trump he accidentally almost said, "Yeah, Israel will lead on this," and then he realized, "Hey, we can't have that. No one leads. We're the leaders," and he kind of corrected himself. But so they've temporarily avoided a war. Jackson Hinkle credits Tucker Carlson and Tulsi Gabbard on Twitter. Tucker did tweet it out. He did say this was. So we'll see. Nobody voted for wars in the Middle East. Nobody voted for the United States to give more money to Israel. Well, maybe some people did.
Widow Adelson did.
But nobody voted for. MAGA did not vote for us to be bombing Yemen and Iran, and to be in bed with Al Qaeda in Syria. No. So we'll see what happens. You have to take it into account that if the New York Times is printing it and they're quoting high-level sources inside the administration, that the administration wanted this release, this information. They wanted this story to get out. So it's propaganda for a purpose, for a reason, for some reason. And they went against, Benjamin Netanyahu's big ask. What's funny is I read a story that said that, Netanyahu wanted to talk to Trump and encourage him to bomb Iran. And Trump was like, "Hey, I don't want to talk about it on the phone. Come to the White House. Come to you." And he did. So I get why he doesn't want to talk about it on the phone. I get that because the NSA and the CIA have his phones tapped. That's why.
Yeah.
And then they just release it whenever they want. So he's got to do all of his negotiations face to face. Anyway, okay, so we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. So congrats to the Trump administration and Tulsi and Hegseth and JD Vance for at least for the time being avoiding World War III with Iran. So we'll see what happens.
It threw me for a loop because of that old Hegseth footage where he's like, "We've got to strike them now."
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the White House tech something guy who said we can manipulate time and space?
Yeah, did you see that? Oh, I want to get.
What the hell does that mean?
So that plane, that MH17.
Yeah.
So there's a credible guy,
Ashton Forbes. I follow him on Twitter.
I follow him too.
Yeah.
He follows me. We should have him on if we can. Let's get him on Monday.
Yeah, I messaged him because I have all these questions about it.
Ashton Forbes.
Okay.
And he says that plane, they literally made it disappear. They have figured out how to shrink time and space and open up wormholes. And he has a video of
plasma balls.
The three plasma balls. Yeah.
Yeah. And they create a magnetic field. It's like some weird trampoline effect. And,
yes.
Anyway, but I don't understand. That's not the biggest news in the world that guy said that.
And
then Trump said we have all these secret weapons. So do we have something better than hypersonic?
So what that guy Ashton Forbes is saying, it's better than nukes.
Yeah, I should say so.
And that
time manipulation.
Yeah. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.